they got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make...
Lil Durk's legal team just made a bold move. They filed new paperwork asking the court to dismiss his entire case, claiming the prosecutors made a major mistake against him. According to reports, Durk's lawyers filed a motion arguing that the second superseding indictment is way too vague, and if the judge doesn't throw it out, they're demanding a full breakdown, a bill of particular, that explains exactly what coded language was used, what the so-called bounty meant, and when all of this supposedly happened. Durk's lawyers are pushing hard, asking the prosecutors to show real evidence, proof that Durk ever offered any kind of reward or opportunity related to the situation with Quando Rondo.
Left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans continue.
They even want the exact date and time this alleged offer was made. Normally, this kind of info would have already been shared in court, but prosecutors still haven't provided it, making Durk's team believe they might not have any solid proof at all. But things took a wild turn. Reports say Durk was placed in solitary confinement after officers allegedly found a phone in his cell. Before that, there were rumors of an altercation inside the facility. And shortly after, Lil Baby tweeted, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now. Free the bro." The streets instantly started connecting this to the tragic loss of Durk's close friend Glee in Chicago, sparking talk that OTF might have been targeted, and everyone's wondering who could be behind it. Right now, all signs are pointing toward Quando Rondo's crew possibly wanting payback. Durk is still facing serious accusations connected to the case involving Quando's close friend Lil Pab. And what's wild is that, on the exact same day, someone allegedly tried to go after Durk. Both Quando and Lil Tim dropped new interviews. Instead of speaking harshly about Durk, they said they wish things had gone differently. But fans aren't buying it. Many think it's just a move to look innocent in front of the feds while still keeping things active behind the scenes. People online are speculating that Quando and Tim's sudden peace talk could be a setup, especially since they've been longtime rivals of Durk. Some fans even believe they acted fast because rumors say Durk might actually be getting out soon. Reports surfaced that Durk's father hinted his son could finally be released on bond after the defense made an offer so strong that the judge might not be able to turn it down. And here's where it gets even crazier. Prosecutors have reportedly started dropping some of their evidence against Durk.
Search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
In court, they even read part of it out loud before dismissing it from the record. That included lyrics from Durk's song where he raps, "Told me they got an addy. They got the location. Go look on the news. See your son screaming no." Fans immediately connected that to Quando yelling no on the sidewalk in the viral video after the incident, and the internet's going wild trying to piece it all together. The way prosecutors dropped that evidence was wild, and honestly, kinda shady. Instead of quietly removing it, they read it out loud in front of everyone, making Durk look worse in the process. That move sparked a big reaction online, especially from Charleston White, who said he's completely against Durk being released. But even with the noise, a real defense lawyer stepped in and said that the prosecutors dropping evidence like this actually helps Durk's case in a major way. Still, things didn't go how Durk's team hoped. His official lawyer, Drew, revealed that the judge denied his latest bond attempt. Why? Because the feds reportedly want Durk to give up every bit of his wealth, even his properties, before they'll even consider letting him out. They claim they fear Durk could somehow use his money to influence witnesses, which Durk's team completely denies. But then things took an unexpected twist. A fan following the case closely tweeted, "If you think Durk was denied bond because he's rich, you don't know this case. Dee Dee's brother just told everything." They allege that instead of announcing it publicly, the feds are keeping it under wraps to hit Durk's lawyers with a surprise. Reports suggest that Dee Dee's brother Ted was allegedly caught on body cam footage offering to give up info about OTF and Durk to avoid jail time. That revelation shook fans because Dee Dee is known as one of Durk's closest allies and Ted is his actual brother. According to court chatter, Ted was arrested after being found with a weapon, and the moment he got to the station, he supposedly started talking fast. He allegedly told officers he'd reveal everything he knew about what went down, hoping it would keep him out of jail, but it was already too late. And that move might have changed everything in Durk's ongoing case. While Ted sat in the holding cell, he reportedly couldn't wait to talk. Sources claim he was eager to give up names just to walk free, hoping that sharing info would get him out fast. Confusion hit the court system when fans noticed Dee Dee's last name in the official paperwork, and many thought he was the one cooperating. But it turned out to be Ted all along. Since the two are brothers, their last names match, and that's what caused all the mix-ups. Then things took another twist. Reports came out that their cousin, OTFVNI, might have also cooperated in the case. This had Durk's close friend Bezo trying to calm the situation, but fans weren't convinced, saying it just keeps getting messier. Not long after, DJ Academic stirred things up again when he brought on Vonnie's father for an interview, and that's when the real shocker dropped. Vonnie's dad suggested that Durk might have had some connection to the tragedy involving King Von. At first, that sounded too wild to believe, but people started remembering that Durk and Von had a joint case before Von's passing. Once Von was gone, that case reportedly ended in a private settlement, which raised a lot of questions about who took the blame. Some fans also noted that King Von was becoming a star in his own right, possibly outgrowing Durk. And that's where whispers of jealousy began to surface again. Things got even more explosive when a tweet surfaced, allegedly from Vonnie's dad, claiming that Durk had something to do with Von's situation. Fans immediately started connecting dots, pointing out how Durk always seems to go live on Instagram right after major incidents happen. They believe he does that to build an instant alibi, showing he's active online whenever something serious goes down. Whether that's true or not, it's definitely got the internet buzzing. Vonnie's father wasn't just upset, he was furious. He claimed his own son, VNI, might have played a role in what happened to Lil Pab and King Von, saying he only spoke up because, if someone tells, you can tell too. That street logic sent shockwaves across social media. Then Durk's own sister-in-law jumped into the mix, calling Vonnie a rat and a snitch, confirming what many fans were already whispering. Meanwhile, federal investigators are reportedly on edge, worried that Durk could interfere with witnesses in his case. They believe his connections are deep, and rumors spread fast that something might have already happened to one of the key informants. The question flying around the internet right now, has anyone heard from Jam? Jam was outed publicly by DJ Vlad for allegedly cooperating with authorities, and not long after, reports claimed he vanished. Sources say Jam was eventually found hiding in a house outside Atlanta, where things allegedly turned bad for him. Photos supposedly showed the spot he was staying in, and fans went wild trying to verify if it was real. What shocked everyone even more is what Jam reportedly handed over to investigators. Over 230 gigabytes of evidence, including recordings, surveillance clips, and around 20,000 pages of reports. That's massive. Because of this, the feds are said to be trying to connect Durk to two new alleged for-hire situations. According to whispers in legal documents, the first involves Dion Mack, the man accused in the tragedy that took Durk's brother D thing. The second, Jam's own ex-partner, after rumors spread that Durk discovered Jam might have been wired up during their conversations. The feds believe Jam could be the missing link tying together multiple major charges, and fans have even been rewatching old streams pointing out moments where Jam kept touching his jacket, thinking they spotted a wire. The story just keeps getting wilder, and nobody knows how deep it really goes. When you look deeper into Lil Durk's old interviews, there's one clip that really stands out. He hinted that someone close might have been cooperating. "I see you from a mile away. I know your car. Cooperate," he said, sending chills through the fans watching. In that same interview, Durk explained how he's tightened up his circle, saying he doesn't let anyone outside his family visit his home anymore because he's worried about having a rat nearby. What makes it even sadder is that Durk always looked out for Jam, the same person now accused of turning on him. Reports claim Durk once gave Jam $50,000 to help him get back on his feet, showing how much loyalty he had for his people. But things changed fast once investigators began looking into who appeared in the background of one of Durk's old Instagram lives. Those same faces, according to sources, were allegedly linked to the crew connected with Lil Pab, and they also used to hang with King Von back in the day. Fans now think this might have been part of a revenge cycle that just kept spinning. Then came the post that stirred everything up again. Investigators claim Durk uploaded something to his Instagram story just 30 minutes after an incident involving Stefan Mack, saying it was for his brother D-Thang. The next day, he even went live, laughing and acting unbothered, which prosecutors tried to use against him. DJ Academics later sat down with Durk's lawyer to ask the big question: would they ever take a plea deal? The lawyer said absolutely not. He made it clear they're focused on proving Durk 100% innocent. Other attorneys analyzing the case agreed, saying Durk's team could even use the First Amendment to defend him, arguing that the things he says online are part of his creative freedom and image as an artist. Because in hip-hop, controversy might bring attention, but that doesn't make it a crime. As the case keeps unfolding, fans are starting to realize how deep this situation really goes. Reports now claim that investigators are quietly re-examining all of Durk's lyrics, trying to see if any of his songs could be used as indirect confessions. Prosecutors are said to be connecting specific bars to moments that happened in real life, but Durk's team says that's a reach. They argue his lyrics are just storytelling, part of his art, not real-life admissions. Still, it's getting tense. Court insiders revealed that the feds pulled up nearly a decade's worth of Durk's music videos and interviews, hoping to find anything that ties him to past events. But that move's backfiring, because fans are defending him, saying hip-hop shouldn't be treated like a crime scene. You don't see movie actors getting charged for the roles they play, one fan tweeted, and it went viral overnight. Even other rappers started speaking up. Boozy, Meek Mill, and a few others posted about how unfair it is to use rap lyrics in court, saying the system is trying to silence artists who come from the streets. Meanwhile, Durk's lawyer fired back with a bold statement, claiming they're ready to prove that none of the so-called coded lyrics have anything to do with real crimes. But here's where it gets intense. Sources close to the case say prosecutors are trying to flip a few more witnesses. That means anyone once close to OTF could be pressured to talk. And with the tension already sky high, rumors started swirling that the feds might call in surprise testimony from someone who hasn't been seen in months. If that happens, it could turn the case upside down. And fans are already saying this might become one of the biggest courtroom dramas in hip-hop history. While Durk's legal team keeps fighting, the spotlight's now turning toward Atlanta. According to insiders, federal agents are reportedly looking into several old incidents in the city that might be linked to Durk's associates. They're digging into property records, cars, and even private bank transactions, trying to trace who funded what. It's all part of what they're calling a pattern investigation, meaning they're looking for repeated behaviors that connect different crimes together. But Durk's camp says this is a distraction tactic. They believe the feds are just trying to stretch the case as long as possible because they don't have a smoking gun. If they had real evidence, Durk would have been sentenced years ago, one close friend told the media. Fans online agree. Many think the government's just trying to make an example out of a successful rapper from the trenches. Meanwhile, social media is exploding with theories. Some say Durk's situation feels similar to what happened with other major artists who got targeted once they became too powerful. Others are focusing on how calm Durk's been during all of this, still releasing music, still showing up in videos, still keeping OTF's name alive. His supporters say that's proof he's focused on clearing his name, not hiding from it. But there's still one piece of the puzzle nobody's solved. What happened to the sealed documents filed by the prosecution last month? Court reporters claim there's a private folder labeled restricted, which might contain new statements from anonymous witnesses. If those are revealed, everything could change overnight. Durk's lawyers, however, have already filed a motion demanding full transparency. So now the question is, will the judge force the feds to show their cards, or will this case drag on even longer? Because at this point, it's not just about Durk. It's about the way the system treats hip-hop itself. Now, as Durk's hearing date gets closer, the energy online is at an all-time high. Fans are arguing, bloggers are debating, and the streets are buzzing about whether this will finally be the moment Durk walks free. The courtroom's expected to be packed with reporters, bloggers, and hip-hop personalities all waiting to see what happens next. Sources close to the case say Durk's lawyers are coming in heavy, armed with new evidence, new witnesses, and a strategy meant to completely destroy the government's claims. They've even brought in an expert team that specializes in breaking down how social media posts and lyrics can be misunderstood when taken out of context. Their goal? To prove that Durk was simply performing, not plotting, but the prosecution's not backing down either. Word is, they're trying to convince the judge that Durk's influence is too dangerous for him to be released before trial. They say his reach in the streets gives him unmatched access, and that keeping him behind bars is the only way to prevent any interference. That claim alone sent fans into a frenzy, saying the system's treating Durk like a villain, not an artist. Despite it all, Durk's been staying quiet. No rants, no statements, no IG lives, just silence. And that silence is loud. His team says he's focused on faith, family, and freedom, blocking out all negativity until the truth finally comes to light. At this stage, one thing's for sure. No matter how this ends, this case is already shaping up to be one of the most talked about sagas in modern hip-hop. Because whether you believe Durk's being unfairly targeted or that there's more to the story than we know, the entire culture's watching closely, waiting to see if this is redemption or the fall of a legend. Lawyers are now saying things are finally starting to look good for Lil Durk. They claim the prosecutors still haven't produced any hard-hitting evidence, and some believe Durk could be released soon, just like what happened with Young Thug. One major advantage Durk's team has is that many prosecutors simply don't understand hip-hop culture. They're trying to read lyrics like police reports instead of art, and that could seriously backfire in court. But just when things started looking bright, new chatter hit the courtroom. Word of a possible new informant. Prosecutors reportedly delayed Durk's bond hearing again, saying they needed more time to gather last-minute evidence. This rumor started picking up right after Brick Baby's arrest, and fans think that's no coincidence. The timing lines up perfectly with a recent law enforcement sweep connected to the Rollin' 60s crew, where Brick Baby, Big U, Loose Cannon, and others were allegedly taken in. Now the big question is, will Brick Baby cooperate? Lawyers following the case believe the feds could pressure him to talk about everything he knows, especially if it connects to old incidents involving Lil Pab or Quando Rondo. What makes it even more suspicious is that years ago, right after Lil Pab's situation, Brick Baby went on record saying people can't say Durk didn't slide for Von. That one line had the internet going crazy. And now the feds are reportedly trying to link it back to Durk's lyrics about getting the location. They believe Brick Baby might have known details or even shared information back then, but nothing's been proven. Still, the timing and connections between everyone involved have people wondering how deep this web really goes. At this point, all eyes are on the next hearing, where the judge could finally decide whether Durk walks free or stays locked in. One thing's for sure, this story isn't over yet, and every twist keeps getting wilder. And if you've been following this deep dive and want to stay locked in with the truth behind hip-hop's biggest courtroom stories, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video, and subscribe to Hollyrumor for more real stories straight from the culture.